Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. Big news day. We got a lot to discuss here. First, we have the SEC getting exposed by Empower Oversight, the nonprofit whistleblower foundation, and they've been caught red-handed. I want to break down what's happening here. It's related to the Bill Hinman's connection to Simpson Thatcher, and we know the conflicts of interest around that with Ethereum's free pass and also Jay Clayton. So, as I've been saying, pathetic liars, Gary Gensler and the SEC, and we're seeing it come to light. And I want to talk about the implications this has for the market at large with the enforcement actions Gary Gensler wants to take, as well as the SEC lawsuit against Ripple. We're also going to talk about billions in Bitcoin being seized by the US government related to a hack that took place on Bitfinex years ago. And even Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, weighs in on this. So this is some very big developments. And we have huge adoption news, a big merger and acquisition that took place to offer cryptocurrencies to just the market, guys, more players jumping in. So I want to break all of that down. Before we get to it, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Earlier today, I uploaded my interview with Josh Neuroth, who's Anchor's head of product, and they're building some really cool Web3 crypto economy interoperability. Be sure to check out that interview. They're really bringing a lot of different blockchains together. So I'll put a link in the description to that interview. If you're listening to this on a podcast site, please give me a 5-star rating. Quick word from our sponsors here. First is Algorand, which is one of the leading projects in the crypto industry. They are building the future of finance. Algorand is getting significant adoption and investments. Both Michael Arrington's and Anthony Scaramucci's hedge funds are invested in Algorand to build the ecosystem out. There's CBDCs and NFTs being built on Algorand. And the next sponsor is TaxBit, which is a leading tax service provider in the crypto industry. It's a service that I personally use and I have been using to calculate my crypto gains and losses. Makes it so easy to plug in your exchange and print out the forms and give it to your accountant. So be sure to check out the links in the description to learn more about Algorand and TaxBit. All right, let's look at the market here. Bitcoin over $44,000, Ethereum over $3,100. Binance coin over $414. XRP has reclaimed the number 6 spot. It is currently over 87 cents, up near 40% from a 7-day perspective, looking really strong. Cardano is at number 7 at $1.18, Solana at $114 at number 8. So XRP continues its bullish movement. And guess what, guys? This is nothing compared to what's coming, the alt season that is coming up. And I'm excited to see what alts do. They usually outperform Bitcoin. Now, if we look at the Bitcoin weekly chart here, we see some really strong green candles being formed specifically for this week. We'll see how the week plays out and if it does close green. But we could see a pullback, as I've been talking about for quite a while, or we continue going up, right? But it's the TLDR here is that Bitcoin will retrace the higher prices, I think, to 55 to 58. Some are calling for higher prices with the lengthening cycles theory. We'll see what plays out. I'm personally playing it safe and starting to take profits at the retracement peak of like 55 to 58. And then I'm expecting alt season, which I expect will make me a lot more money. Now, Credible Crypto weighed in on Bitcoin's current movement, saying, now that we are at monthly resistance, we may see a pullback. Even if we do, a higher low to 38 to 40K would be healthy, followed by continuation to 50K plus and a reclamation of our monthly resistance, after which point I'll have my sights set on a new all-time high. So Credible believes in the short term, we have a correction because nothing goes up in a straight line. Bitcoin had some strong weeks so far. I think this week is going to be no different. And then we'll have our pullback and side-to-side movements, and then a breakout to new all-time highs, and then a correction, and then we'll have alt season. we'll see if Bitcoin hits new all-time highs, guys. We'll just have to wait and see. I hope it does. I want it to, because that'll make me more money. Now, one of the analysts, Velvet Mad Maxi, he's been doing some great work. I've been following his charts. He retweeted his tweet from October of last year saying alt season starts soon. And he said it was expected to start in Q2. So we're in February, so we're in the middle of Q1. Maybe things kick off in March. I don't know, but or exactly at April. We'll see if this plays out. He's saying right now, January, February, March, and this phase, even from December, is essentially an accumulation zone. And then we'll see a pop off, starting Q2. We'll just have to wait and see. None of this is guaranteed, but at least we can look at the charts, the data, and the facts we have today and form a thesis. Obviously, it's easy to be optimistic because you want to see higher prices. You want to see your portfolio go up, but we got to be realistic at the same time. Nevertheless, I think all signs point to a great alt season and higher prices. And I'm looking forward to a great year, to making some money. Hopefully no black swan events happen and things move in the right direction. Now, here's some very bullish news being covered by the block. A former sovereign wealth fund professional is raising $150 million for a crypto fund of funds. We've been talking about sovereign wealth funds. There's a lot of capital sitting on the sidelines, and Kevin O'Leary and a few others, I think Anthony Scaramucci as well, they've been talking about if these folks were to allocate that capital in crypto, my goodness, not all of it, but some of it, because we see traditional financial products such as bonds are failing, right? So that capital has to move to places where it can earn a proper return. So let me give you the details here. The startup Neural Capital is backed by Kinetic Capital, which has a long history of seeding top crypto companies. And the TLDR here, before forming Neural, Rabia Iqbal worked for Mubadala, Koku Management, and Morgan Stanley. Good Lord, I probably butchered these names. My apologies. I tried my best. The fund of funds plans to back both crypto and venture capital managers, as well as investing directly in tokens and equity plays. What have I been saying, my friends? Those of you who listen to this podcast and this channel, double dipping. And, maybe after this alt season, I will be able to get equity and and invest directly in these companies, because the great aspect of this asset class is that you can buy the tokens and hold them, and you can invest in the picks and the shovels, the people, making the tools and the infrastructure for the crypto asset class. And it's an amazing time to be investing in this crypto market. And that's why we see all these crypto exchanges and custodians and wallet services and whatever else technology that are building the on and off ramps infrastructure. They're getting millions of dollars of investments. So once again, we're seeing it here, guys, and the opportunity to make significant money is upon us. So a former sovereign wealth fund professional is targeting $150 million for crypto fund of funds under the Neural Capital banner, betting on Web3 revolution with backing from one of the industry's biggest money makers. Rabia Iqbal plans to close the new firm's first fund at the end of February, according to a source familiar with the matter and marketing materials obtained by Blockworks. Iqbal declined to comment. It says here, Neural's flagship vehicle, First Light Fund, plans to deploy capital to crypto-focused hedge and venture capital managers, along with token investments and direct equity stakes in the blockchain sphere. Guys, I'm so bullish. Even if, let's say this year doesn't turn out how we're expecting it, I'm not dismayed. I'm not discouraged, because I see what is being positioned here. I see the capital. I see the big names, the big players setting up shop, and they don't care about the volatility in the short-term price. They are looking macro level. And how many news items have I shared with you guys just even in the last 2 months of capital being poured into this market, both the tokens and the companies. And guess what? There's still a lot more on the sidelines, but many are waiting for the regulatory clarity from the SEC, from Congress, before they can jump in. And in fact, my interview with Patrick Sells of NYDIG, which is helping in close to 1,000 local banks and federal credit unions across the United States get access to Bitcoin. I asked them in the interview, and this interview will be live tomorrow, by the way, are you planning to go beyond Bitcoin? Are you planning to expand to altcoins? He said, yes, there's plans to, but we're waiting for regulatory clarity. And trust me when I tell you, lots of capital on the sidelines, just waiting for the green light. Now, look at this. Betterment moves into cryptocurrencies with some M&A news this morning, M&A being mergers and acquisitions. Acquiring Makara, Betterment will soon offer the option of crypto portfolios built and managed by experts for long-term investing. So Betterment, they are kind of a service that allows you to grow your money with automated investing and so forth. And they're jumping into crypto. So here's the press release from today. Betterment enters the cryptocurrency market by acquiring Makara, largest independent digital investment advisor, plans to offer customers managed crypto portfolios in an all-in-one platform. Of course, guys, look at what is happening here. This news just it gets me so bullish because no one wants to miss the train. And it is a land grab. Everybody's trying to grab as much of the market as possible. That is why you're seeing all this capital being raised and the mass marketing coming and the Super Bowl ads that are coming, guys. Get ready. Just, you got to follow the news. Price is important, yes, but these are the things that are going to lead to higher prices. And once you understand that they are building the on-ramps for more capital for both retail and institutional, guys. Now, let's jump into the SEC news. I've called Gary Gensler and the SEC pathetic liars, and here, I think my statements are being proven true. Document released by Empower Oversight, which is the nonprofit whistleblower community. They don't just go after the SEC; they go after all aspects of government to provide transparency and accountability. Has a document the document released by Empower Oversight reveals SEC found approximately 1,000 pages of records detailing communications between William Hinman and Simpson Thacher while he was in office, responsive to Watchdog's FOIA requests. So at first they said, hey, we couldn't find any communications or anything. Then they kept pressuring the SEC under the threat of lawsuit, and all of a sudden, it was a clerical error. Yeah, I don't think the guy pressed enter when he did that search. So document appears to be a letter memorializing apparently combative conversations between the Empower Oversight and SEC staff over claims of no responsive documents, now subject of litigation in group's investigation of potential conflicts of interest of William Hinman, Clayton, and Berger. In a January 28th call, the SEC staff claimed an error in previous search was corrected and more than 1,000 documents were uncovered linked to the Hinman Simpson Thacher request. Other searches ongoing. Empower Oversight further demanded details on the search methods. That's right. Read the full document here. The behind the scenes details of the SEC staff fighting this group's investigation is why Congress needs to step up and conduct an independent investigation on the matter. We who have been looking at this for a year now, we know of the conflicts of interest. We see it. We see the meetings. We see the money. We know the disclosures. We know where these guys went to work. And Gary Gensler is trying to cover that up. Pathetic, simply pathetic. And they're trying to lie. And he's trying to cover up for Hinman and Clayton. And he's getting exposed from retail investors, from Fox Business investigative journalists, from Wall Street Journal, everybody, and just even the crypto industry now are coming against her because we know There's reports that he wants the treasury job, so he's trying to be as hard-nosed as possible. But he's digging his own grave here by doing all this. And I don't know if he's going to have to step down or Biden will replace him. I just don't know. And here's what Empower Oversight had to say in addition to this release. The admission from the SEC means its previous no records response was false. Empower Oversight expects full legally required transparency from the SEC. Yeah, we would all love that, especially those of us who are in the United States and pay our taxes that funds this respective regulatory body. This is simply pathetic. That's the one word I can think of. These guys are liars. It is unbelievable where my tax dollars are going. This is, it just boils my blood. I can't believe it. And clearly there were bribed conflicts of interest. They gave Ethereum the free pass and roadblocking the rest of the crypto market. Now, Eleanor Terrett of Fox Business, obviously an investigative journalist, she said the no records blunder by the SEC doesn't surprise me. As I've said before, the agency was fairly responsive in the early days of Charles Gasparino and my Fox Business investigation, but then went radio silent when asked to comment or correct our facts. Facts don't matter to liars. They're trying to hide, guys. But what they don't realize is they now have, once again, retail investors and the decentralized nature of the internet. We can easily share information and create content like I am right now. And you guys can do the same. That's why I say call, text, tweet, email, make content. It doesn't have to be some YouTuber. You can make a video and publish it out there. Put pressure on the SEC to expose these lies. She also said in other news, today I spoke with a professional trader who had his trading platform investigated by the SEC. The SEC lawyer interviewing him apparently didn't know what a stop loss order was. Oh, pathetic. Pathetic. This is what Gensler is running right now. The only person I exclude from these pathetic comments is Hester Peirce, crypto mom. So I want to make sure that's clear. This is these comments are for Gary Gensler and his cronies and Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman. Now, today was one of the stablecoin hearings, and we have Representative Bill Huizenga. I apologize if I butchered that. Well, he asked a great question to this woman from the president's working group about, okay, Gensler's been running his mouth saying stable coins are securities and so forth. Why didn't you, part of the president's working group, get him to provide clarity there, right? Here's a quote. I shout out to JV who pulled this clip. He said, why not have a securities analyst if it's unclear already? Total pathetic use of our tax dollars, not the congressman. I'm talking about the SEC. They just don't have their act together. Their people are uninformed. It's a mess. Gensler is covering up conflicts of interest. This is simply, once again, pathetic. Let me play the clip here.
That close quote. While that may not be the most clear statement of intent, it does suggest that the chair believes that Congress needs to act in order or for most or all stablecoins to fall under the SEC's regulatory authority. Yet during his testimony to the Senate, Chair Gensler stated in a somewhat contradictory way that, quote, some of these tokens have been deemed to be commodities and many of them are securities, close quote. So I'm curious, will you be able to explain why the report did not include any analysis of policy issues under the securities laws as they pertain to stable coins? And was it discussed? And again, given that the SEC is a member of the working group, certainly if it wasn't discussed, why not?
Yes, of course. So the president's working group was convened to view stable coins as a possible way to improve the payment system. And the mandate was to identify whether this new possible payment instrument based on a new technology would have the appropriate regulatory framework. And the goal was to identify gaps in regulation. as I've mentioned in my testimony, this proposal builds on existing laws and regulations that apply, including SEC regulations that apply to stablecoins as a investment asset or a security. So
did I miss something? I mean, it doesn't look like there was any analysis that was actually done on that.
No, we did not include what the existing securities were, but what is unique?
Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry, Madam Secretary, but it's unclear already. So why would you not do that analysis? If we don't have a clear picture, why would you not have done that analysis?
Yeah, so I think I would need to defer to the SEC for.
That's because bonehead Gary Gensler, the bankster's puppet, the Wall Street rat, is trying to roadblock crypto as much as possible because his banking cartel buddies are getting disrupted and the capital's leaving their realms, their pockets, and going into crypto. That's the answer. But of course, she can't say that. This is unbelievable. But shout out to Representative Bill Huizenga, saying that right, for asking these questions. And I just love that these folks in Congress now are waking up to this and putting the pressure on, guys. And once again, you do your part. Tweet, make content, email, call, do what you got to do. John Deaton, who weighed in on the Empower Oversight situation, said some people like digital asset investor have said the SEC didn't see John Deaton coming. I think that's true. John representing 60,000 plus XRP holders. Well, John Deaton didn't see Jason Foster and Empower Oversight coming. I tip my cap to you, sir. I speak for 65,000 people when I say thank you for your demand of transparency. And many of you, once again, may remember I interviewed Jason about a month ago. If you haven't seen that interview, check it out. You'll learn about Empower Oversight, what they're doing and their mission. And once again, it's not just about the SEC in this case. They do all types of FOIA requests and lawsuits, so, to make sure the government is using money correctly and or tax dollars correctly. And, they're not screwing people over. So be sure to check that interview out, guys. Now, this is some big news. U.S. officials seize $3.6 billion in Bitcoin from 2016 Bitfinex hack. Nearly 120,000 BTC was stolen in the hack. This is a lot of drama. And let me read through it for you. So the DOJ says Ilya Lichtenstein, 34, and his wife, Heather Morgan, 31, both of New York, were arrested today and charged with money laundering cryptocurrency stolen from Bitfinex in 2016. The DOJ says it has recovered a whopping $3.6 billion of the crypto. DOJ says Lichtenstein and Morgan allegedly conspired to launder the proceeds of the 119,754 Bitcoin that were stolen from Bitfinex platform after a hacker breached Bitfinex systems and initiated more than 2,000 unauthorized transactions. The total value of Bitcoin stolen was $4.6 billion, DOJ says, and they have recovered $3.6 billion of it. But the DOJ is not accusing the married couple of the hack itself, leaving open the possibility that someone else was involved, most likely. DOJ says the couple used the proceeds for their personal benefit, including purchases of gold and NFTs. As if that included the Bored Ape NFT, officials wouldn't specify which NFTs were purchased with allegedly stolen money. And it says here, for those who believe their Bitcoin was stolen in this heist, DOJ says there will be a court process to claim and request return of Bitcoins whose value has skyrocketed since the theft in 2016. Wow, guys. And these are well-known folks. It says here, the reporter said here on her LinkedIn page, Heather Morgan, who was arrested today, calls herself a serial entrepreneur, also a surrealist artist / rapper. He continues here saying, what is a surrealist rapper? Well, Morgan apparently posted a video of herself performing wearing a hat that says zero FCKS, so zero fucks, and referring to herself as the mother effing crocodile of Wall Street. Unbelievable. In court filings, DOJ refers to Morgan by her nom de rap, noting that she is also known as Razzle Khan. Who are these people? Well, this is an interesting one. I don't know how they got the money. Maybe they somehow connected to the person who did the hack, and now they're trying to, or they were the hackers. I don't know. But you know, we'll figure out more or learn more. But what's interesting, one takeaway from this, Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple's CEO, weighed in on what Bloomberg had to say about it. Today's arrest and the department's largest financial seizure ever now show that cryptocurrency is not a safe haven for criminals. Duh. You would be better off with cash. So the idiots that tell people, oh, you see, you can use cryptocurrency, wallet addresses that can be traced, not a good way to do criminal activity. So that is certainly a false, premise that has been used for years, when cash is the best way. You can't, it's basically untraceable, right? And then they wash the cash. We know about this with the mob and different people do with money laundering. So it's straight up BS. So Brad said to see a statement like this is incredible and reaffirming to so many in the space using crypto for good after years of FUD that crypto is only used for criminals. Absolutely right. Now, Mr. Mongoose Coin himself. Well, he was part of that stablecoin meeting they had today. That, I played one of the clips for you. And this man said, he compares crypto to subprime lending and asks if people of color will be left holding the bag if crypto collapses. This moron, I like what Ryan Selkis had to say, and I interviewed Ryan. He said, it's funny that a man who takes campaign money from predatory financial services companies has the audacity to make crypto a racial wedge issue at the same time he refuses to engage with his pro-crypto challenger, Arica Rhodes, in a primary debate. Now, you guys remember I just interviewed Arica. Please support her. I've donated to her campaign. We got to get this idiot, this Mongoose Coin idiot, out of office. He is clearly bought. In my interview with Arica, she talks about where he gets his funding, pawn shops and things like that. And now he's trying to throw race into this. So he's gone from Mongoose to Raccoon Coin to now, this is a racist thing. Crypto is racist. This guy, pathetic. So I tweeted, vote this idiot out and support Arica. So we need to get people like him out, guys. We got to get people like him out. All right, that's the news, guys. Let me know what you think. I think this is, the main news here of the SEC getting exposed is good. And we, more power to Empower Oversight. Donate to them, guys. Donate to them. They're a nonprofit organization. They're doing great work. And if you live in the United States and your tax dollars are funding the SEC, you should be upset by this. It doesn't matter if you hold XRP or not. If you hold Cardano or Solana, whatever it is, all those coins have not been given clarity. Remember that. And the SEC, there's nothing stopping the SEC from going after them next. And clearly, they've talked about more enforcement coming this year. So we got to keep fighting here, guys. We got to do our part. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.